Hey, speaking of deceptive people involved in trickery, I don't think I saw a local story on this anywhere, but I saw it on Fox Business. And then I think the New York Post picked up the story. And it's a Florida restaurant, which happens to be right here in the Tampa Bay area. And I have not been there, but looks like it's nice. Rick's on the River.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah, I've been to Rick's several times.
So, okay, look at this. So, Fester's been to Rick's. Roxanne, you've been to Rick's.
Yeah, you know what's fun is to take a boat out from Rick's on the river.
Andrew, have you been to Rick's on the River?
I have.
Look at this. So I'm guessing Froggy probably. If Froggy were here, am I the only one that hasn't been to Rick's on the River?
Yeah, probably.
All
It's up the river just north of downtown.
Right. All right, so here's the deal. Restaurant owner has employed a new tactic for taking on dine-and-dashers after Rick's on the River has faced numerous incidents of guests running off without paying. Rick's on the River owner Ken Brackins detailed the successful strategy where he posts security footage of the perpetrators online and then confronts the dashers face to face. We take the time to get some film where they walked in and where they're sitting and eating. We paste it together, and then sometimes we'll put music to it and post it up on Facebook, and it seems to be very popular.
That's awesome.
Look at this. Then somebody will inevitably recognize the people, give us a call or an email, and tell us who they are. So we find out who they are, and we give them a day or so to come in and make it right, and generally they'll come in and pay. That's something that is, to me, so despicable. Somebody that will go to a restaurant, eat the food, utilize the service, and then walk out without paying. You know, the whole dine and dash thing, man. I never did that.
And the sad thing is I think more people do it, not because they don't have the money to pay, but more because just for the thrill of it.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this confrontation. I'm on the Rick's on the River Facebook page. This just earned my follow. And you can see like the manager standing in the way of a door, and I can't even play this language.
So this is a woman in a Mercedes.
He puts her
in
that's my point.
You know, nice Mercedes. This woman is, and then they show the license plate on the car and everything. So Rick's on the River posted this on August 21st, and there's the license plate number and everything of this woman that apparently tried to dine and dash at Rick's on the River. Listen, I think this is great. I fully support, even though I've never been to Rick's on the River. I probably need to stop by now.
It's a cool, laid-back vibe.
But how's the food?
Good.
I probably need to visit this place, but I totally love this concept. It's dine and dasher shaming. And why the hell not?
Oh, he has video of people coming back. One of the perpetrators sheepishly returned to the scene of the crime to make restitution. Thank you for all the assistance and shares and comments from the community.
I think they're playing the theme from Cops, you know, the bad boys, bad boys.
That's great.
So that's
bad boys, what you gonna do?
As they come back to make restitution.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
You know what? Should we grab some phone calls? Do we have any listeners that are habitual dine and dashers? Or have you dined and dashed recently? Or do you work at a restaurant? Or do you own a restaurant? Or, hey, maybe Rick is listening. Maybe, Ken Brackins, the owner of Rick's. Maybe Ken Brackins is listening right now.
Oh, man.
800-990, or someone can tell that, Ken Brackins, we're talking about Rick's on. So this got national attention on Fox Business, and it was on TV, I guess, with Stuart Varney, and then there's a whole story on their website. And I guess this Ken Brackins dude made an appearance on Fox Business. All right, folks, I'd like to grab some phone calls here. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Are you a dine and dasher? If you want to remain anonymous, that's fine. Where was the last oh man. Where was the last place you dined and dashed? Let's go. 800-990-1047. Listen, you can remain completely anonymous. You're not going to get a thumbs up from me. I'm not happy about this, but Are you a dine and dasher? When's the last time you did it? Are you a restaurant worker or an employee? Because a lot of times I've heard that the server sometimes gets stuck with the tab.
Oh,
I don't know.
bet.
I don't know if that's I don't know. I don't think that's fair. But let's grab calls here. 800-990-1047. But I love this tactic. I like what Rick's on the River in Tampa is doing by posting videos online of the culprits and dash and dine shame them. Abso-freaking-lutely. I fully support what Rick's on the River is doing. Look, we already have like 2 calls on hold, and Andrew's screening away. Let's go. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. That's how you get on. You have some audio from his interview on Fox Business?
I was trying to get to the link, but we started with calls here.
And maybe it's an accident that you dined and dashed.
It's no accident.
Hello. Remember me in the Charlotte Douglas International Airport when I accidentally stole from the self-checkout?
You tucked the sandwich under your arm and then you walked away. I don't know how the hell you did
you
that.
got flustered and you left and you didn't pay. That's a little bit different than sitting there enjoying a whole meal, having
by the
table
way,
service.
hey, Andrew, bring up Roxanne's camera.
You've got your own camera.
Man, you're working in your concealer very late this morning.
I know.
Why?
I know. Because all of a sudden I looked, because I only did half of it, and I just looked up at the screen, and I have like black eyeliner.
Yeah, you're
on my
very
face.
very ghoulish looking.
Yes.
You're like a ghoul this morning. You know what? You can get a job easily at Halloween Horror Nights this year.
I'm auditioning.
All right, let me go.
Go a hollow scream up here at Busch Gardens.
Let me go to phones. Anonymous in Bradenton is up first. Anonymous, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, Anonymous, go ahead.
I would like to know why in the world Fester's being so quiet, because he does that at the hotel.
Well, first of all, you're absolutely right. Second of all, that's not true.
Hold
It's
on.
not true.
Why do you have to be anonymous calling in?
Yeah.
I would expect that people that are going to confess to dine and dashing want to be anonymous. You don't have to be anonymous. Come on, what's your first name?
It's Barbie.
Barbie, come on.
Barbie.
Is it really Barbie? Is your last name Oppenheimer? Barbie Oppenheimer?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Oppenheimer.
All right, so we'll go with Barbie, Miss Anonymous. Listen, It's completely different because the hotel doesn't give you a bill. I'm not walking out on a bill. I'm just taking it where there is no bill, although I should have been a resident.
Fester's walking into hotels pretending that he's a guest to get the free breakfast.
Stay there.
Hey,
exactly.
you know
have
what?
to stay there to get the food.
Barbie, I'm going to come down to Bradenton. I'm going to take you to the Holiday Inn Express and get you some of those delicious cinnamon buns.
Hey, you go a little further. You go to Yoder's Amish buffet down there, Amish food. That place? I love that place.
Yes, that's so right, MJ. That's right.
You don't want to dine and dash from the Amish. They'll
don't
hook
do
you
that.
up to a horse.
I'll tell you, they'll run you over with a horse and buggy. We got to get down to Yoder's.
It's a great place. Yeah.
Does he know we're back on the air? The owner down there?
I don't know if they have radios. They're Amish.
Yeah, they have. Anonymous, thanks for calling in. Barbie is her name. Joe and Lutz, look at the phones on this. 800-990-1047. Joe and Lutz, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
How you doing? I read an article not too long ago that one of the best restaurants to do that with is Cracker Barrel. Once you get your meal and they give you your bill, you go up to the front of the store where all the merchandise is, and if it's busy, people just walk right out without paying their bill.
Oh, man. I guess that is. I haven't been at Cracker Barrel in a couple of years, but I guess that's right. It's the honor system. You get your bill and you walk out to that general store with all the knick-knack crap,
Yep, and then it's a hot
got
mess
that
up
right.
there.
And then you can just walk right out you just blend on out. Yeah. But, Joe, you've never done that?
I have never done that. I'm honest. I pay my bills. I've never walked out on any restaurant or any bill.
Joe, thank you very much. Mike is in Lakeland. Mike, you're on the MJ Morning Show. And listen, if we have any dine and dashers, if you're a dine and dasher, call us up. Where's the last place that you dined and dashed and didn't pay? 800-990-1047. Mike in Lakeland, go ahead.
Yeah, MJ. I was over there doing a project over on 19 in Largo. Eating dinner at a restaurant that had an emergency on the project. Ran out real quick and forgot to pay. Didn't realize it until the next day. I went back there and said, hey, you walked out and didn't pay dinner last night. I know you must have had an emergency. So I'm with Roxanne. It can happen by accident.
All right, so then you made good the next day.
Yeah, I went back the next day. The manager knew me. He goes, hey, you must have been an emergency. You ran out and forgot to pay. So I paid.
All right, so they appreciated that you went back to pay.
Yes.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you. Oh, no. Is that Legally Blind Mike on line two?
It says LBM in the name column.
I see LBM. Is he going to say that he was legally blind? And hang on. Is this Legally Blind Mike?
Yes, MJ, it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Legally Blind Mike. Hang on a minute. I got to play the Legally Blind Mike intro music.
Legally blind Mike, legally blind Mike. Say Mikey Crash, say Mikey Crash.
All right, so LBM, what did you do?
All right, MJ. So about over 20 years ago.
20 years ago?
20 years, Mike, you're holding on to
Right,
this.
but no, but there's a story. I had a friend of mine that was working at Publix at the time, and I remember at that time we got into a discussion about what you just said. People will do anything is absolutely right, because when he worked at Publix, he dealt with people, walking out with pies that they took from the bakery without paying for it. But nonetheless, he told me, he said, look, the store is busy, so if you go in there and you order a pub sub and you walk out the door with it without paying for it, I'm 99.99% sure that you'll get away with it. And that's exactly what happened, MJ. I ordered the sandwich, calmly walked out the door.
Well, dude, that's theft. Mike, what are you talking? That's terrible. I don't condone. I would support your arrest.
That was a hell of a good sandwich is what that was.
Oh, please.
Mike, you're like a legally blind bandit.
But the only reason I called because Roxanne said she did the same thing. So
I did. I did.
It's a little different.
She did it accidentally. She had her little monster. She's at the Charlotte Douglas Airport, right? Was that where it was?
Yeah, Charlotte Douglas International Airport. And I was checking out at the self-checkout, and, I had carry-on bags, my kids' bags, trying to keep them under control, a stroller. And so I stuffed a sandwich under my armpit. Doesn't someone want to eat it after I do that? Yeah. And then, I checked out and forgot to pay for the sandwich.
I got to run. Guess who's calling in?
Rick?
Ken Brackins.
Oh, Ken.
From Rick's. Hang on a minute. Ken, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning.
So this is great. I said I hope that Ken from Rick's on the River will call in, and here he is. Welcome.
Well, thanks. Yeah, a lot of your viewers, your listeners were calling me this morning. I'm getting ready to go to work. I listened to you on the way in, but
that's awesome.
So hold on. So Ken, you do listen to us as well?
Yeah, that's the only station that comes in, or I might have listened to somebody else.
Guy's got a sense of humor as well. All right. So this whole story, and I found out about this because Fox Business did a story online. You appeared on Stuart Varney's show. So was there any local media on your process of dine and dash shaming these people?
Well, yeah, the Tampa Times did a little story, and it wasn't really that big of a deal, and then it got picked up by,
So I did not see the original Tampa Bay Times story, but listen, Ken, I fully agree with what you're doing. I mean, I just don't know how low someone can be to deliberately eat your food, utilize your service, and then just walk out without paying. And the fact that you are posting videos of these perps, I think it's fantastic. So give us some background. How long have you been doing that?
It's been about a little over a year since we really started, naming and shaming. It's a problem with every single restaurant everywhere. They've always got some of them, and usually they just chalk it up to that's just the cost of doing business. And it just started pissing me off when they were, not even screwing me, but the servers, they'll run them ragged, and then they leave without tipping them. So when we started doing it, there was so many people were interested in it that we started, actually putting it to music and making jokes about it. And,
yep.
So it just become really popular.
Yeah, I even played the Bad Boys theme.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
You're even using that music. Like the lady in the Mercedes Benz, she's driving like a $70,000 Mercedes, and she's trying to rip you off.
Yeah, that's right. She just didn't want to pay for her beer. She said, I was standing right next to her. I hear a pitcher hit the deck. I look over, and it's a few ounces of foam and beer on the floor, and it was. I mean, we had that hurricane came through last week, and people were sitting out there with pitchers of beer and half pitchers of beer. They weren't blowing over. So she complained she wasn't going to pay. She wanted another pitcher. It didn't look like she needed one. I like just kind of walked off. But my manager gave her another 16-ounce draft, just in good faith, and she drank that, guzzled that down, and got up and started walking off, and she refused to pay.
And then you guys confronted her in the parking lot with video. That's fantastic. Hey, I support what you're doing. If you were to guess, is there an average number of dine-and-dashers? Like, what was like the weekly loss that you think you experienced with dine-and-dashers?
Well, it's not that bad, I mean, it's one every maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Sometimes sometimes they'll come back to back, 1 or 2 in a week. And
have you noticed a reduction in dine-and-dashers since you started posting videos?
Yes, for sure.
Look at that.
It's gone way down.
Look,
way down.
Fester's showing me a picture of Blanton's bourbon up on your bar right now, huh?
Yes, sir. We have the least expensive bourbon, Blanton's bourbon in town, maybe the state. I don't know.
Look at that. Hey, Ken, thanks for coming on. Yes, Rox.
Ken, I'm going to write a little story myself about the conversation we just had with you and put it on our website, if you don't mind. Can I steal a picture from your Facebook? Do I have permission to do that?
Sure.
Okay, awesome.
Sure, go right ahead.
All right, hang on. Andrew's asking to put you on hold here. And Ken, I've not been to Rick's on the River. Of course, I'm aware of it, but I will make a trip in the near future and try your fine establishment out. And I promise I will pay my bill.
All right, I appreciate it. We've only been there 29 years, so I can see why you haven't been already.
Now, Rick's on the River, honestly, Rick's on the River is a quintessential Tampa must-visit establishment. It's right there on the river. It's a lot of outdoor dining. It's a cool place.
You know how many places? There's so many good places. I haven't gotten everywhere I want to go, but I've got to make a point. Hey, thanks for listening. I appreciate it, Ken. Thank you.
I appreciate the support. Thank you.
All right, hold on one second. I'm going to put you on hold. Andrew Grant, he's on line 3. Andrew wanted to talk to him off the air. So how about that? So he listens to us, he says. He wasn't in the car yet. And then he has tons of people calling him. Hey, MJ's talking about you. Again, our listenership is huge. I just wish that it could be properly reflected.
So the Tampa Bay Times article, their Facebook post was 4 days ago.
Yep.
And then Varney and company had him on Fox News 3 days ago. So this is still a fairly new story. Although there wasn't TV coverage or anything.
Yeah, but again, I love it. I love the dine and dashing shaming. I think it's absolutely fantastic.